One of the most common questions I get from the people in my membership groups, my group coaching, my private clients, and just people on the internet is, Gina, how did you keep going? How did you keeping yourself financially afloat? Especially today, people ask me that because I live in the most expensive province in Canada. It's money to live here where I live. And I do my manifesting through journaling and through writing. And that takes time. And everybody in my groups are doing the same thing. In my Right Now women's membership community, where we do writing and journaling together, whether you're working on your life story or you're doing the manifesting writing that I teach for your financial life. But they're both connected because your life story is what makes you money in your business. But I will talk about that another time. Right now, I want to answer you this question directly. People are surprised at the things I do because we can sometimes do this weird thing in our mind where we put people on a pedestal. Like, I used to do this. I used to look at other online mentors and think, gosh, she's so lucky. She must have grown up with wealth. No, I didn't at all. Okay, at all. In fact, we hardly had money. A lot of the times we had to go to my grandmother's for food because we didn't have food. So even as a child, I would sometimes steal things from stores because I was so worried about money. Of course, my mom helped me correct that. I went to therapy, blah, 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 but I didn't know. Right? But that's how worried I was. And that kind of mentality, that's why I'm passionate about what I do now. So I have done all kinds of things to keep my business going, okay? I've picked up dog poop. There was a company that needed help, and I was always looking for temporary positions because I held my dreams strong for this business. So, I'd look for temporary positions or positions that I could give up easily and not feel bad about, like knowing that they could find someone else. Although this job, nobody wanted, of course, but it paid well because it was, well, crap. Crappy job, crappy positions. Basically, just very quickly, it was a company that went to houses and cleaned up poop from the backyard. This was like their luxury service. So if they had a dog that went in the backyard, we would go in and use our tools, of course, and pick it up for them. And they would pay us. So we had that. But then we also had a service where they would pick it up themselves and they would put it into a container. Anyway, I'm getting nauseous just talking about this, but you get the gist. And then we would pick up that container. But the point is, I did that. I also did trades. Like, I remember, and I'll tell this whole story another time because I do love telling it. When my first West Coast serious boyfriend, when he called me and told me that he had cheated on me and our relationship was over, I was like, oh my gosh, I had all of my things moved to LA already, shipped and moved. He already proposed to me. So he was my fiance at the time. And we were getting married. Everyone knew. We had a lawyer working on the paperwork. And he called me and I was like, oh my gosh. So in that situation, I sent an email out to everybody. And I just said, I'm in this situation. Does anybody have like a room to rent or something? I don't have a lot of money, but I will build my business up because I actually had to stop building my business up too high at the time. Because in order to get married, it was legality, but you're not allowed to work too much or at all. I can't remember right now, but I know I had to tone down on my business till we got married or until I actually officially moved. So it was like right before I was ready to move. So I was like, I have to build my business up still. I don't have tons of money or any, but, I really need help. And so one of my ex-boyfriends had reached out. He's like, you can come and stay with me. And I really didn't want to. He was my ex for a reason. And I didn't want to stay for free either. So I said, okay, how about I do an exchange with you? So I loved his girls so much. I still miss them to this day. They're the sweetest girls. We had so much fun together. I miss them so much. His 2 daughters, which he had 50% of the time. So I said, I'll help you tidy up in the kitchen because he didn't like kitchen work. And I'll help you with your girls. You ever need a babysitter, or I'll just spend a lot of time with them because we really were a good family in that regard when we were together. He was like, sure. So we did that. So it was an exchange. And I did that for a while. And then I ended up manifesting my first $30,000 sales week when I was there. I think it was like 4 months after I moved in there. It's amazing what a mix of having been dumped because you were cheated on, and also living with your ex who you don't really want to live with, and you're wanting to get out as fast as possible. It's amazing what these circumstances can do. But I was grieving hard too. Like, I was thrown off from what had just happened. So amazing. But I was doing my journaling work, my manifesting work, the same stuff I still do now, the same thing I teach my clients, all of my students. It's my passion in my programs. It's what I've been doing since 2009. I love it. It's how I went from rags to riches, creating these big money amounts that I'd never seen in my entire life and didn't even know was possible for me.